राश्रसारंभी वंशीवट तटस्थितः कर्षणीय गोपी गोपीनाथाय श्री कृष्ण। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। सभी भक्तों को दंडवत प्रणाम। प्रभुपाद की जय। सभी भक्तों पंचतत्व की जय।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। यो नित्यमच्युत पदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मा व्यामोहतस्तदितिराणि तृणाय मेने। अस्मद्गुरो भगवतो अस्य दैकसिन्धौ रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। यो नित्यमच्युत पदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतस्तदितिराणि तृणाय मेने। अस्मद्गुरो भगवतो अस्य दयैकसिन्धौ रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. So this is the pranam mantra of Sripad Ramanujacharya. Sripad Ramanujacharya, who is Lakshmana himself, Sripad Ramanujacharya, who is Balaram himself, appeared in a very wonderful village which is known as Sri Perambur, which is 30 miles southwest of Madras. The cause of his appearance is in those times Advaita philosophy, which was very wrongly understood. And it was given by Sripad Adi Shankaracharya but misunderstood by everybody. Such a wrong philosophy, Mayavad philosophy, which was very much predominant and which was making people go away from Lord. Thinking oneself as Lord, or considering Lord as no form, or considering Lord's form to be made up of Maya. Such wrong philosophy was given by Sripad Adi Shankaracharya, but that is also because of the order of Krishna. Lord Shiva tells to Parvati, I will appear as a Brahmana Murti, as a Brahmana, to give a wrong philosophy. Mayavadam asat shastram prapannam Bauddha uchyate. It is akin to Buddhist philosophy. So this Mayavadi philosophy, Buddhist philosophy, they were all so much predominant at those times. So for refuting such wrong philosophies, Balaram himself appears as an Acharya, Ramanujacharya. So the pastimes of his appearance is so wonderful. That Asuri Keshavacharya of Sri Parambadur was his father, and Kantimati was his mother. In this way, Lord Balaram appeared to Adi Keshavacharya and Kantimati. So there are wonderful pastimes, childhood pastimes, how we take sannyas, how gets married, how we take sannyas, everything is given very wonderfully. When appearance of Lord Ramanujacharya will come, at that time we will discuss all these pastimes. Now today is his disappearance day. It is said Acharya's appearance day, Acharya's disappearance day, they are all both wonderful. So the philosophy given by Sripad Ramanujacharya is Vishishta Advaita. Vishishta Advaita refuted the wrong Advaita philosophy propounded by Sripad Adi Shankaracharya. This Vishishta Advaita, that is the chief contribution of Ramanujacharya. And that was his work to systematize the philosophy of the Upanishads. And it is not that he has developed a new philosophy. It was there. This philosophy was originally nourished by the Alvars, Nathamuni, Ramanujacharya, but it was very systematically presented by Ramanujacharya. The thing was existing. Lakshmipati Samarambhan, Nathayamuna Madhyavan, Asmad Guru Paryantam, Vande Guru Parampara. From Lakshmi, the Sampradaya starts. Lord gives his knowledge to 4 people: Brahma, Lakshmi, Kumara, and Lord Shiva. From Lakshmi ji, Sri Sampradaya starts. So main pontiff, who is the main pontiff of of Sri Sampradaya, automatically everybody will say Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya is eternally existing, though it may appear that he appeared 1000 years before. He is eternally existing. When during Nammalvar time, Nammalvar, who appeared just after the Kali Yuga, just before the Kali Yuga, Satyuga, Dwapar Yuga ends and the Kali Yuga is going to start, Nammalvar appeared. Nammalvar was asked to give deity of himself to Madhurakavi. Madhurakavi told, I want your deities. At that time, Madhurakavi, who was a great disciple of Nammalvar, at that time, Nammalvar gave a deity with a staff in the hand. That means a sannyas danda in the hand. He said, these are not your deities. He said, these are the Bhavishyat Alvar deities, Bhavishyat Acharya deities. So at that time itself, he gave the deities of Ramanujacharya. In South, you have certain terms like Perumal, Kovil, Acharya. So when you say Acharya, it refers to Ramanujacharya. You don't have to say Sripad Ramanujacharya. Just if you say Acharya, it refers to Ramanujacharya. But if you have to address some other Acharyas, you have to tell their name. Like Madhvacharya, you have to tell the name. But when you say Acharya, it refers to Sripad Ramanujacharya because he's Acharya for all the Acharyas. Bhavishyat Acharya, that has been given. He is the Acharya for all the Acharyas. Though he has taken initiation, his disciples, his Guru himself considers him as Acharya. So in this way, it is not that he presented a new philosophy. From Sri Sampradaya, this knowledge has come to Vishwakshena, who is Nammalvar. Vishwakshena is the elephant form of Krishna. Comes to Nammalvar. From Nammalvar to Nathamuni to Ramanujacharya. From Ramanujacharya it flows down to Ramanujacharya, Asmad Guru Paryantam. Till the present Guru, this knowledge is flowing down, the knowledge of Vishishta Advaita. What is Vishishta Advaita? Vishishta means there is something special. Special in this Advaita. When you say Advaita, a Jiva is non-different from Krishna, but in that same way, Jiva is different from Krishna also. Like a drop of water cannot claim itself a sea. At the same time, drop of water cannot be considered different from the sea. So Vishishta Advaita. Like the soul is the Paramatma for this body, Lord is Paramatma for all the bodies. This is Vishishta. Vishishta means there is something special. Even if you consider, even if you want to find the sameness in the Jiva and Krishna, Krishna is Sachidananda, Jiva is also Sachidananda. Jiva is Sachidananda to a particular extent, but Krishna is Sachidananda in absolute. The Lord is infinite, Jiva is infinitesimal. So in this way, Ramanujacharya gave Sri Bhashya. The Sri Bhashya is nothing but the commentary on Brahma Sutras. Brahma Sutras are the aphorisms or the whole Vedas which has been condensed so that again a wonderful commentary will be written by Vedavyasa. The same with Brahma Sutras commentary is written by Sripad Ramanujacharya and that is known as Sri Bhashya. So wonderful work has been given by Ramanujacharya. He says there are 3 kinds of entities, Achita, Chitta and Ishvara. When you say Achit means it is Jada Brahman. When you say Brahman, there are 3 types of Brahman. That is Jada Brahman, Jiva Brahman and Para Brahman. So no matter and Jada Brahman, that is matter, and Jiva Brahman, they are completely dependent on Lord. And in this way, though they may have his attributes, though they may have his qualities, but they are dependent on Lord. So in this way, Lord is the Paramatma for everyone. Lord is Paramatma means he knows everything about the matter, about the soul. He is the soul of souls and matter. So who is my soul? My soul is Paramatma. When you say I am soul, then who is my soul? Everybody identifies himself with the body. That person is in a conditioned state. When a person identifies himself in a proper way, he is known as he is in a constitutional position that I am servant of Lord. So I'm not the body, I'm soul, but then my soul is who? My soul is Krishna. So everything exists in Krishna. Krishna says everything exists in me. That is what Ramanujacharya is presenting very systematically. Everything exists in Krishna and they are absolutely inseparable. Jiva cannot be separated from Krishna. The matter also cannot be separated from Krishna. That means matter is also eternal. As much as soul is eternal, matter is also eternal. This we had been doing in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. So Ramanujacharya very systematically presented, yes, everything is ultimate. All three realities, matter, God, and spirit. All these three realities are all ultimate and eternal. At the same time, they have their own distinctiveness. That means they have their own identity. When they are all same, we are not losing the identity. In Mayavad philosophy, everything is Brahman. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman has not been understood properly. Everything is Brahman. That means there is no attribute. They've lost the attribute. Everything is Brahman at the same time. Everything has its own wonderful, distinct identification. So that has been very nicely put in Vishishta Advaita, which has no English equivalent term. It has to be called as Vishishta Advaita only. We cannot define it in English because English words become very, very less, or you can say English words cannot describe the Vishishta word in a very proper way. So in this way, Vishishta Advaita, which is actually a very long theory, but still in short, yeah, described. Now the last days of Ramanujacharya has arrived. He has come from Melkote now to Srirangam. The devotees of Srirangam, they have got the bhagya of having Ramanujacharya with them. The circumstances made him go from Srirangam to Melkote, where he spent some few years. And after that, he came back to Srirangam. And the devotees, but in the devotees in Yadavgiri, that is Melkote, they were having the thought of separation. So when he was about to leave from Melkote at that time, they were crying. Ramanujacharya told, don't worry. I'm going to give my stone image or stone vigraha to yourself. He personally got a stone image made of himself and he transmitted his powers into it. And he gave that to the devotees of the place. We have 4 deities of Ramanujacharya in 4 important places. These 4 important places are also known as the 4 Divyadeshams. They are most important Divyadeshams. There are 106 Divyadeshams, but these in this earthly planet and 2 Divyadesham in the Vaikuntha planets. But these 4 places, that is Kanchipuram, Melkote, Tirupati and Srirangam, they are known as 4 mandalas, very important places. In Tirupati also we have Sripad Ramanujacharya's deities. In Sri Parambadur near Kanchipuram also has Sripad Ramanujacharya's deities. In Melkote, Ramanujacharya's deities are there. And these Ramanujacharya's deities were personally made by Ramanujacharya himself. And he says, "Oh, my dear disciples, when you feel the desire to see me, you just come and sit before my deities. You will find me there." Then he comes to Srirangam. When he comes to Srirangam, it so happened one day he was completely in trance. Suddenly he went in trance. And when he went in trance, there were from his eyes 2 drops of blood came. And all the disciples were surprised. After some time, when he opened the eyes, they asked, "How is it that 2 drops of blood has come?" He said, "The devotees in Sri Parambadur, they are carving my deities, and they have carved it. And now Nayanotsav is going, Nayanotsav is opening the eyes of the image. Now they have done that. That is why at that time they have to sickle. They have to put the sickle and carve and remove and open the eyes. So when they did that, here Ramanujacharya had blood in his eyes. That means Sripad Ramanujacharya is staying in Sri Parambadur. He is staying in all his vikrahas. 4 vikraha, important vikraha is there. Generally, people go to Tirupati, Govinda, Govinda, and come back. But we should not fail to take darshan of Sripad Ramanujacharya in Tirupati. Because of Sripad Ramanujacharya, deities were revealed as Govinda. The deities were worshipped even by Shaktas. They thought they are Durga because the vigraha of Govinda has a raised chest. So they thought this is female deities. So this is Durga deities. They thought it's a breast Durga deities. But it is, and some few thought that the deities are actually of Lord Shiva. Somebody thought no, the deities are of Buddha. So in this way there was a confusion. These deities are who? Govinda deities. At the time it was Govinda, nobody was knowing. Some thought Durga, some thought Buddha, some thought Lord Shiva. At the time Ramanujacharya came to Tirumala, he said, "Let us keep all the weapons, vyuhas of Durga also, of Narayana also. And in this way, let us keep the vyuhas or the weapons and close the room. The next day, whatever the weapons Lord takes, we should understand they are those deities." And next day, to the surprise of everyone, because the Malwar, everybody, Alwars have written about Govinda. And this happened just a few years before the 1,000 years, 1,500 years before. All were in confused state. And when they opened the deities, they saw the Lord beholding Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. Then he proved to everyone that they are none other than Sriman Narayana. So in this way, Ramanujacharya plays an important role in Tirumala, Tirupati. Because of Ramanujacharya, the flower seva, the Pushpa Mandalam, Tirupati is a Pushpa Mandalam. All this seva has started. Now let us see in Pirambaddu, Sri Parambadur. Again, there the deities are made, and here Ramanujacharya gets a blood in the eyes. Now, the devotees were considering themselves fortunate because the last 60 years of his life he spent in Srirangam. Devotees used to feel the bliss, and practically they could feel that they are staying in Vaikuntha. The whole South India appeared like Ramarajya. One day it so happened, he became very silent and he was completely in trance. He is also known as Ubhaya Vibhuti. Now Bhagavan Sripad Ramanujacharya Ubhaya Vibhuti Lakshmana, he became silent. He was preparing to go back to God. All the devotees started crying. He told to the devotees, why are you crying? Oh, my children, this is not good. You're not ignorant. How can you think that I am going to remain away from you? Not for a single moment I'll be away from you. Why are you crying like this? Then in this way they could not suffer, they could not bear this suffering of the disappearance of their wonderful Acharya. Then Ramanujacharya told, carve the deities. I will personally, for 3 days, the stone image of Atiraj was completed. Then the whole, the deities were given bath in the water of Kaveri. And Yatiraj, he entered those deities. But before entering those deities, he said, these deities are non-different from me. He entered those deities. And while passing, today is the 10th day, Dashami, Magha, Dashami, Shukla Paksha. He kept his head. It is said he kept his head on the lap of Govinda, his cousin, and his 2 lotus feet on his most dedicated devotee Andhrapurna. And he was looking at 2 wooden sandals. That is the Paduka of his Guru, Yamunacharya. And in this way he entered the supreme abode of Lord. But before entering, he gave a wonderful 74 instructions to his disciples. These instructions are the most important instructions. It is said one who learns these instructions very nicely, he can understand. This is the last message of Sripad Ramanujacharya. They can understand the Vaishnavism very nicely. It said Ramanujacharya wanted to refute all the Mayavad philosophy. He entered like a thread in the needle, but came out like an elephant. He was the one who established Vaishnavism. The first and the foremost instruction is worship Sri Vaishnavas exactly as you would do in the case of your Guru. So when you see Vaishnavas, you should not consider them ordinary. You should worship them exactly as you will worship your Guru. Have sincere faith in the teachings of great Acharyas. When Acharyas have given us the teachings, we should not forget them. We should have faith in them. Then he says, never become slave of your senses. And then one should not be eager to acquire worldly knowledge. One should be eager to just not be satisfied. Oh, I got worldly knowledge. I am an IIT and I am a PhD and all those things. No, don't be satisfied. We have yet not studied the greatness of Lord. That is why one should go on repeatedly study the books which is describing the greatness of Lord. One should understand that it is only by Guru's mercy one can understand the greatness of Lord. So one should always seek Guru's mercy. There are so many emotions and feelings which come in our day-to-day life. Be indifferent from all these things. Let it come. Be indifferent. Don't give attention to all those things. Sometimes one will feel the bliss, happiness. Sometimes one will feel very much depressed. Depression is nothing but giving importance to the feelings. Just come out of all these things. Be indifferent to the different moods or with different feelings. Chant the holy name of Lord and enjoy chanting the holy name of Lord. Enjoy chanting the glories of Lord's devotees. Now see here, a wonderful statement. Enjoy singing the glories of Lord's devotees. As much as we enjoy chanting Lord's glories. enjoy chanting the names of the devotees as much as we enjoy chanting Lord's name. Whoever renders service to Lord's devotees, they attain Lord very speedily. Lord Krishna tells in Padma Puran also, Yome Bhakta Name, Yome Bhakta. Whoever is my Bhakta, they are not my Bhakta. But whoever is devotee of my devotees, they are actually my devotees. I don't consider the devotees who directly come to me, but I consider the devotees of my devotees as my dear. So unless we dedicate ourselves to the service of Lord and his devotees, we will not be saved. Will not be saved. We have to come in this material life again and again. The life of a Vaishnava has no selfish desires. The life of a Vaishnava is only meant for upliftment of others. So this is the most important thing one has to realize. Never find a fault in a pure devotee. The devotees who have taken the step to walk towards Krishna along with everyone, the step to give that realization to everyone. And then Ramanujacharya says, devote a portion of day, divide at least 1 hour, 1 hour, to contemplate on your Guru. Reading, chanting, everything is so wonderful, but at least 1 hour one should contemplate the greatness of my Guru, the greatness of Guru, that he has come to give us. Because of him today I am chanting the holy name of Lord. That is why one has to contemplate, one has to serve the Guru very nicely. One has to seek the company of those who are in the path of self-surrender to Lord. And then avoid the company of those who say there are many paths, there are different paths which lead to salvation. Very strictly, Ramanujacharya says, don't associate with such people. Because they don't know there is only one path, that is surrenderance to Krishna, prapatti. Sripad Ramanujacharya has presented Sri Vaishnavism in a very wonderful way, where prapatti has been emphasized. Prapatti means self-surrender. Vaishnava Seva Prapatti. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken two principles from every sampradaya. From Sri Sampradaya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken these 2 principles, Vaishnava Seva and Prapatti. Prapatti means surrendering to the spiritual master. There are no other paths, very clearly has been said. Don't mingle with those people who are not interested in devotional activities. Don't mingle with such people. Who are into sense enjoyment, don't mingle with such people, because we are not so elevated to purify their consciousness. In fact, we will also be dragged in such enjoyment. And then he says, which is also the words from Bhagavatam, never look at the deities of Lord as mere stones. Don't consider your spiritual master as an ordinary human. Don't see the caste of a devotee, and don't try to degrade, or don't try to consider the holy water to be an ordinary water. Don't consider the mantra which has been given to be a collection of some words. So such people, don't consider the devatas to be higher than God or equal to God. Such people will dwell in the infernal region, that means in the hell. So in this way, when Ramanujacharya finished his discourse, again the devotees, they started crying, oh, please tell us how we are going to live without you in this world. Please give us that instruction how we are going to live without you, Ramanujacharya. Then Acharya commanded them the following instructions. He says, study Sri Bhashya, teach to others also. Study Sri Bhashya, teach to others also. This is the greatest service what you can do to please Lord. If you are not able to do that, if you are not able to study, and if you are not able to teach others, at least start. You're not able to understand Sri Bhashya, at least start reading the writings of Shatagopa, that is Nammalvar. Very clearly he says, if you are not able to study Sri Bhashya, at least do this. Study the works written by Nammalvar. And then if you're not able to do this also, you're not able to study this, then at least spend your life in serving, in the service done to the Lord, in sacred places. Go to the sacred places and at least do the service of Lord. And then if you're not able to do this also, then go to Melkote, construct a hut and stay there and be peaceful. And somebody can say, I'm not able to do that also. Okay, stay wherever you are and put all your bhara on Krishna or your Guru and just chant Dvai mantra, Ashtakshara mantra, Dvai mantra has been given by Sripad Ramanujacharya. So if you are not able to go to Melkote and stay there, at least what you do? At least chant wherever you are, chant the Dvai mantra. Even this is not possible. Even this also you are not able to do. Even if you are not able to chant the Dvai mantra, then at least serve a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava who is completely dedicated to Lord, who is full of wisdom, devotion, and desirelessness. So there are adhikaris in the Vaishnava also. Uttam adhikari bhakta, who is full of wisdom, who is full of devotion, and he has no material desires. Serve them and move with him. When you move with him, then what happens? He will be very kind to you, and in this way he will completely uproot your egoism, and he will pour his complete mercy onto you. And this is the way to attain salvation. Vaishnavas are your friends. So he says, when we are living in this earthly planet, we should be very careful who is our friend, who is our enemy, and who is indifferent. The friends are those who are completely dedicated unto Lord, and they are the Vaishnavas. So seek the association of Vaishnavas. And who are the enemies? Those whose heart never surrenders to Lord. They don't accept the supremacy of Lord. So when you see such people, you should tremble. As if you have seen a snake, a tiger, a fire, and run away from that place. That is what Ramanujacharya says. If you have to go to some demigod's temple, don't go there. Better is you kill yourself. Why? Because there, the people who have material desires, they come there. People having material desires, they come to the demigods to attain the material desires. So better is run away from that place. See that you are not, when you are seeing them, you should feel that you are seeing a snake, a tiger, a fire. That is why you should have fear and run away from that place. And those who are indifferent, they are known as sansaris. They are not interested in attaining Lord, nor they are refuting, nor they don't want to play some wrong philosophy. They are just indifferent. So such indifferent people, if they are indifferent and if they have ears to hear you, then preach them. Preach such people because they're innocent, they're independent, they're innocent, they don't know. Nor they're refuting the supremacy of Lord, nor they're accepting him. So associate with your friends, the Vaishnavas. And in this way, they will give spiritual illumination. Shun the company of the enemies. Don't talk to them. And never show respect to them. Just go away from there. And benefit those who are neutral. Give your knowledge to them. So in this way, always remember the Almighty Lord. Beg to him. Pray him. That because of his mercy, one should get the spiritual master. And because of the spiritual master, one can get to know the glories of Lord. Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasadat. If you see Ramanujacharya's teachings and Srila Prabhupada's teachings, they are non-different. This is why Ramanujacharya is the Acharya for all Acharyas. Every Acharya, when they write their commentary, they have to refer to the Sri Bhashya written by Ramanujacharya. Without referring to the Sri Bhashya written by Ramanujacharya, no Acharyas present their commentary. The glory of Sripad Ramanujacharya, these glories, whatever has been said, is only very limited according to the limited knowledge, whatever I have. But the glories of Ramanujacharya are unlimited. He is Ananta Shesha. He is actually the potency. Which potency? The potency which describes the wonderful qualities of Krishna. The glorifying potency of Ananta Shesha. Ananta Shesha means glorifying Lord. That potency is Ramanujacharya. Once Bittideva, one of the Jain king, he came to Ramanujacharya. He said, and he completely surrendered to Ramanujacharya. His name became Vishnuvardhan. He told there are many Buddhist monks who have many inquiries and many doubts. Many monks like this, they have come to ask you a question. There were more than 1,000 monks who had come. Ramanujacharya told, I will stay behind the curtain. Let everybody ask their doubts simultaneously. Everybody presented their doubts simultaneously, not knowing what doubt each other have presented. And Ramanujacharya gave answers, and Deva was completely astonished because the sound was like, so much of sound was coming. Just imagine so many solutions given at one time. Slowly he saw behind the curtain, he saw Ananta Shesha. Ananta Shesha has 1,000 hoods, thousands and thousands of hoods. And every hood was answering the question placed by the monks. So that is Ramanujacharya. So to grow in devotional service, one has to surrender to Sripad Ramanujacharya, who is the Bhavishyat Acharya, who is the Acharya for Acharya. Bhavishyat Acharya was given, this name was given by Nammalvar. So we should not think, oh, he is Sri Vaishnava Acharya. He is Acharya for all the Acharyas. He is Acharya for even upcoming Acharyas. So that is Ramanujacharya. Sripad Ramanujacharya ki jai. Yo nitya machyata pada mujhe yukma rukma vyamo hata sadipranjanaye mene asmad guru bhagavat vasidhe kasindo Ramanujasya charanashkalam papatti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any doubts?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I have a small question. Can I ask?
Yeah.
Mataji, today you very nicely explained the Vishisht Bheda Videv.
Vishishta Advaita. Vishishta Advaita Siddhanta given by Sripad Ramanujacharya.
Okay. Now I got confused with Chinta Bheda Bhidet. So,
Achintya Bheda Bheda given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
yeah.
Vishishta Advaita given by Ramanujacharya.
Okay.
Dvaita given by Dvaita Siddhanta given by Sripad Madhvacharya. Yesterday Sripad Madhvacharya's disappearance day was there.
Okay.
In this way. Vishishta Dvaita given by Nimbarakacharya. Vishishta Dvaita given by Nimbarakacharya. Dvaita Advaita given, Vishishta Dvaita given by Vishnu Swami. Dvaita Advaita given by Nimbarakacharya. Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So, how this Achinta Bhed Abhed and Bhed Abhed is different?
More vividly described. All tattvas more elaborately described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given his darshan to all the four acharyas.
Okay.
So Ramanujacharya's leelas are also there in Mayapur. He has given darshan to everyone. Because he is Krishna and Ramanujacharya is Balaram. So how can Balaram remain away from Krishna? Okay. So that is why with our time, with our limited intelligence, thinking that, oh, this is 1,000 years before, this 500 years, we are eternally existing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So here we'll stop. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.